How are we feeling? Um, Interesting question. I'm at a point where I guess the best way for me to put it is that I feel like Santa Claus doesn't exist anymore. Or like it's a kid realizing that Santa Claus doesn't exist. It's Neo waking up from the Matrix. All of the fanfare and the hoopla and the whimsy and all of those things that are associated with life, I'm not there with it. Like, I know Santa Claus doesn't exist. I know it's really mom putting, presents under the tree. So hoping that 8 tiny reindeer are gonna, trample on my roof at night and waking up and saying, "What's that?" I'm not waking up with hope and glee like, "Oh, it's Santa." I'm waking up like somebody's in this motherfucking house. Like, I need to kill them. It's everything is very matter of fact, and you would think for a person like me that's perfect. You would think for a person like me that that's exactly what I was going for. That's exactly what I want. Like, but it kind of subtracts something from life. God exists, yes, but he's not this mythical creature that religion paints God out to be. God is something that we don't understand. It's not an entity that's always going to make something work out for you. It's an entity that gave you life. It's an entity that definitely woke you up this morning, and it's an entity that, if you're breathing, if you're hearing this, you have another chance. You've got another chance to turn it all around. You've got another chance to do something. But a lion still has to hunt. The flip side of that is a deer still has to run. Like, you've got to make the most out of whatever your life is, because you've got the opportunity to do it. If you've got the brain, if you've got the know-how, if you've got the physical strength and the skill set, if you're breathing, you have an opportunity. So it's not, oh, let's hope and dream and pray. It's like, nah, let's work. And that's the matter of factness that I'm talking about. It's just work. You're just seeing, like, whatever's possible, you got to push forward to do that. No one's coming for you. No one cares. No one's really looking out for you. I mean, of course, outside of your family. I'm not trying to be totally bleak and dismal. But yeah. Aside from that, that's pretty much what it is. I'm rambling, but I'm reflecting. I think of the things that I take pride in, that I'm happiest about, and right now, that's my children. I can say as a father, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to say, that I've been there from day one. I've been there before day one. Before they even took their first breath, I was singing to them in their mother's womb. I was rubbing their stomach, poking with them and playing with them. When they would poke out of that stomach, I'm poking into it to let them know that there's somebody on the other side that loves them. That was the first thing my daughter saw. I sat right next to my sons as they were being pulled out of their mom's stomach, and sat right beside them in the incubators while they were in the NICU and all of that good stuff. And to not for things to come full circle, but I guess you can say it, because I don't think life is just one circle. I think there's several circles. I think we kind of do some laps, and that lap grows, the scenery changes, but it's several laps. But to have, to be the disciplinarian, to have people tell you, hey, you're being too hard on them, you're being too rough, and you need to loosen up and lighten up, and so on and so forth. And to have my children come back to me and say, hey, we love you for that. Like, thank you for doing that. So many other parents out here don't do that for their kids, and aren't there and aren't involved, and don't want to have anything to do with them. And you gave us structure. You gave us, purpose. You taught us responsibility. For my children to say that makes me feel good. And that's a safe space for me. That's a place where I can just, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm chill. Like, when I'm around them, the world doesn't matter. Like, I'm in the happiest place that I could possibly be. I don't feel that too often. With pretty much everyone else, I'm guarded to a certain degree. I love my family, and I feel safe around my family too, but I always know that there's a certain point. I always know that I can only say but so much. Now, of course, as the relationship with my family has grown, and maybe this is the way that it is for everybody's family, I'm not sure. But with the way that my relationships have grown, I am able to be more of myself and express more of myself with my family. But still, I know that in order for me to like be 100% me, I need to be 100% by myself. I need to have that moment where I can just have my own thoughts and do my own thing and think what I want to think, and watch what I want to watch and listen to what I want to listen to, hear what I want to hear. Like I can that bat cave of sorts inside of my brain or inside of me. I guess that's part of the whimsy that I'm talking about too. I used to look for that in other people, and I used to think that I found that in other people as well. This person allows me to be me, so this has to be my soulmate, right? This has to be the person that God sent to me to spend the rest of my life with, because this person is allowing me to be 100% me. And then you realize the only reason why that person was doing that is to suit their own needs, to serve their own purposes. If I let him do what he thinks he wants to do, then he'll always be around me to do this thing for me. I'm shaking my head. I call it the bobblehead. I'm shaking my head like I understand him. I'm shaking my head like I know everything that's coming out of his mouth. And in reality, I don't. In reality, I don't even care about half the stuff. I'm just letting him talk so that eventually he'll do what I want him to do for me. And after going through that several times in life, I've pulled back. Like I'm extremely guarded. I'm extremely, like, my hands are up all the time, and I'm in fighting stance all the time, because no matter who the person is, and unfortunately this may even include my fiance, but no matter who the person is, I'm always like, all right, let's see what happens. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. It's not that I believe you. It's not that I trust you. I hear you. Wisdom is proved righteous by its works. I'm waiting to see what you do. I heard what you said, and what you're saying sounds great, but I'm waiting to see what you do. I'm waiting to see what the actual action is, so then I can say, okay. But I cite it as an issue for me because I'm always waiting for the action. It's the saying is waiting for the other shoe to drop. And that's what I feel like. It's not that I'm waiting for some doom. It's not that I'm waiting for something bad to happen. I'm not being a pessimist, but I'm also not being an optimist. And I think that's a thing as well, where I'm not looking for the good that's going to happen. I'm not looking for the bad that's going to happen, but I'm always looking for what's going to happen. I think, and I just hit it, I'm not in the moment. I'm outside of the moment. Talking out loud, maybe this is the purpose of these little soliloquies that I have, but it feels like I'm not in the moment. I'll say it like that. Or I'm here, but I'm not. I don't want to say I'm not fully present, because I am fully present. It's just I'm not comfortable. I'm always waiting for what's next. Like, this happened, and I appreciate it, and I thank you, and I'm going to show my appreciation, and I'm going to reciprocate, and I'm going to, do all of the things that I'm supposed to do. But always in the back of my mind, there's that, don't get too comfortable. Like, I feel like the moment that I get too comfortable, the moment that I just say, it is exactly what I think it is. It is a safe space for me. It is a place where I can just kick back and be comfortable. That's when the tablecloth gets yanked out. And that's been my experience. I guess you could say I'm traumatized. I guess you can say I definitely need therapy because of it. Yeah, I do. But that's how I feel. I always feel like I can't really sit down and enjoy my meal, to use the same example or the same analogy. I can't sit down and really enjoy my meal, because the moment that I say, whew, is the moment somebody's gonna come and yank that tablecloth for some reason. Whether it be, the president that's changing laws and making it so that, you can't enjoy the things that you were enjoying, or you do your budget and you find out that the fucking water heater is on the fritz and you gotta replace that, or you're your relationship is great, and all of a sudden she, gets pregnant and starts going through postpartum, or your job is great, and all of a sudden you get a new supervisor who for some fucking reason hates you. Like, all of these things have happened, and it's like, after a while, it's like, I don't feel comfortable being comfortable. I don't feel comfortable just saying, everything is perfect. Like, in my relationship right now, everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. I could not have asked for a better woman. And I've said that from day one. Like, she is the best woman that I've ever met. Gorgeous. And I'm not going to get into the others. Oh, shit, this is my video. Yeah, I mean, everything, top to bottom, inside and outside of the bedroom is A1. But it's like, I still don't feel comfortable being comfortable. I see her. I'm going to see her today. We're getting married. I can't, I'm looking forward to it. Like, but I just don't feel comfortable being comfortable. And talking it out, the thing that I'm thinking back to is when I was actively drinking. Now that I'm sober for more than a year, when I was actively drinking and smoking a lot of weed, it was a thing. Like, those chemicals, those substances could take away this guard that I have. It could let me let my guard down, and then I can laugh and joke with the best of them. I can have fun. I can share stories. I can do all of that, and it wasn't the thing in the back of my head that was always telling me, be careful, watch out. Like, I guess it was an excuse for me not to be alert. It was an excuse for me not to be on guard. Hey, I'm drunk, so these things happen. And I let my guard down, literally. I'm high. I can let my guard down, literally. Without that, it's like my guard's always up. And I don't have a practice of letting my guard down, so to speak. The only thing that I know that really does relax me like that is when I'm training, when I'm hitting a heavy bag, when I'm sparring, when I'm going through my forms and things of that nature, or working out in general. That helps me because I'm exhausted by the end. So yeah, my guard's down because I can't do anything else. Like, I've pushed myself all the way to exhaustion. And I'm doing something that I enjoy doing. I thoroughly enjoy training. So it's just like, yes, let me go and let me hit this bag as hard as I can, because I can take out any frustration. I can take out any anger. I can take out any type of problem that I'm having, and I can express it through my fists and through my feet. And by the end of it, I'm exhausted. So because I'm exhausted, I'm like, all right, cool. It gets my mind off of things. I'm not always thinking about what's next. But, the moment that I'm not doing that, the cycle starts again. You listen to the news and you see what's happening. You listen to the radio and you hear what's happening. You hear all of these atrocities that people are doing every day. You look at your bank account and you always think of, all right, what do I need to take care of? I got taxes back. Yay, I got money back. But now that I got that money back, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy that, I gotta take care of that, I gotta get that fixed, I gotta stock up the freezer, I gotta buy this for the kids, I gotta, make sure I'm tucking some money away just in case some things happen. Like, it's not like, ooh, vacation. It's like, ooh, I got all this other stuff to do because I'm responsible. Of course, I can live that social media lifestyle and take that money and just buy a ticket and fly wherever. And some people would say that I might need to do that just to get my mind off of things. But I don't know how much that's going to work, because, again, like the drugs, like the alcohol, once the high wears off and once you sober up, the problems didn't go anywhere. They're there. And a lot of times you've made them worse because you probably did some shit when you was drunk and high that you weren't supposed to do. And that's where I am. That's how I feel. That's where I'm coming from with this. It's it's a pickle. I don't know any other way to say it. It's a pickle. I woke up in this mood. And if I'm being honest, I've been in this mood for the past couple of days. Again, might just need a vacation. Might just need to be able to kick my feet up on the beach somewhere and, lay back and let that be that. Maybe I need to spend a couple of long sessions on a bag and just, exhaust myself again. But until I can do that, I have to rebuild my punching bag stand, because the one I had at first is an outside bag and rusted through. So It's shit. But I did replace it already. I just got, find the time to put it together. But yeah, maybe I do need to just take some time away and not think of these things. But this is my worldview. This is welcome to the midlife crisis. This is how I'm thinking. This is the reality of life. This is me realizing at 46 years of age that, yeah, the life I was living was a lie. That's why the Neo reference came up from The Matrix. And I'm probably dating myself by referencing The Matrix as a movie. But no, it's serious. It's like the go to school, get your degree, work hard, everything will be fine. That's not true. How would I change that statement? Go to school so you can get the knowledge and the network. It's not just about getting a grade. It's about learning who is surrounding you and making those partnerships, making those connections that could serve you better in the future. It's always setting up your next play. Get a job, but don't let that job get you. If you have to work somewhere, have the plan of what you're going to do with that job. Don't just go and be happy and be like, yay, I'm making the salary and everything's going to be fine. That's not the case. Because that salary is only fine for when you have it. And when life happens, when life changes, when life shifts, because change is the only constant in the universe. When life shifts, you may find out that salary may not be the salary that you need it to be. So have a plan with whatever job that you have. I'm going to stay here for a set amount of time. I'm going to achieve a certain amount of things while I'm at this job. I'm going to leave at this time, because after I have achieved what I want to achieve, I'm going to use that for my next step. And diversify. Don't just rely on one source of income. Like have that idea in your head that I can do this and this and this. Like don't just look for the one talent that you have and then push everything on that talent. The one thing about human beings that I will always celebrate is that we're capable of doing far more than what we believe we're capable of. And you've got to train your mind to get to that point. Like if somebody were to tell you that you can literally put your fist through a piece of wood, you wouldn't believe them until you trained it, until you understood that, yeah, this I can train this thing to be firm and hard and deadly, and I can put it through this piece of wood. So the piece of wood doesn't exist. It's my own barriers that exist. Yes, I am good at managing, but I'm also good at art, and I'm also good at music, and I'm also good at combat, and I'm also good at et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So all of these things that I'm good at, I have the time and the capacity to hone all of these things. So do that. We hear about Renaissance men and women who, wrote books and then sang songs and wrote plays and, were carpenters and fixed houses and like all of these things that they were capable of. And we revere these individuals as godsends. Like, oh my God, you're capable of doing so much. And they are, but we all are. I think there's this massive mind fuck that's been happening with everybody that teaches you you're only good at that one thing. Like, find your talent, not talents. It's singular, not plural, but in reality, it's plural, not singular. Like, we could be good at several things. It's not, we waste a lot of our time trying to find that one thing that we're good at when we're good at several things. The jack of all trades thing is a real thing. You're a jack of all trades. Practice all of those trades so that you can be more than just a jack. You can be the ace. That's where it's going, but when you spend 46 years thinking of the old way, of going to school and making sure that you're getting good grades and making sure that you shine up to your boss and you listen to what they say, you realize that this world has groomed you to be an efficient part of the plantation. You get up and pick your cotton every day. I'm recording this video as I'm heading to work. So I can pick my bale of cotton. My boss can pat me on the back and say I did a good job. And then I go home feeling exhausted because I've made somebody else rich. The organization that I'm working for, I've made them profitable. And I drink that propaganda on a daily basis. Hey, come in and sell this product and push this account and do whatever you need to do. Because, that's how you're going to make your sales. And when you make your sales, we're going to give you a bonus. We're going to give you a little stipend. It's not going to be anything close to what the CEO is making. It's not going to be anything close to what the C-suite has. It's not going to be anything close to what every board member is making. We're just going to give you your extra piece of cornbread and a double serving of chitlins so that you can have the energy to come back and do this again for us the next day. Realizing that, like I said, at 46 years of age, tastes like ass in my mouth. And it's one of those things that now I'm looking to change. Like, that's the midlife crisis. But in the course of that, in the process of that, like, sometimes you just don't feel like it. Sometimes I don't feel like getting up and going through that workout. Sometimes it's just like, I just want to kick back and chill, because I have been working on that plantation. And I think that's the game too. Let's exhaust them so much that they don't have the energy to work on their own dreams, to pursue their own happiness, to make the things happen that they want to happen. Let's keep them preoccupied with everything that we want them to do, them being the plantation workers. And this is not a racial reference, not in this instance, but it's in general, because that's how we do. If you're listening to this and going to work right now, you're also a part of the plantation. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter what gender you are, doesn't matter your sexual orientation or anything like that. If you're listening to this on your way to work, or even after you've gotten off of work, you're a part of the plantation, and that's a part of the problem. We need to get off the plantation. We need to find a way to get beyond the tree line and to start chasing those things that we want. We need to be able to go out west and build our log cabin, and stake our claim. You know, literally figure out what that means. Stake your claim. Like, this plot of land is mine. I'm going to farm on it. I'm going to raise a family on it. I'm going to defend it with my life, and I'm going to build it up to be what I want it to be. It's just now it's finding the energy to do that, and the determination and the discipline, because now it's 2 jobs, you know, if not 3. You know, now it's, yeah, I'm going to excuse me, yeah, I'm going to the plantation to make the organization richer, but then I come home and I'm still a parent, and I'm still a husband, and I still have to move forward with all of those things. Yes, I know I said fiance before, but once you decide that you're getting married, what else are you going to do? You're already married. You're just waiting for the day to tell everybody else that you're married. But if you decide that you're getting married, you're already married. But either way, you know, I'm still a husband, I'm still a father, but then I still also have to pursue these dreams to make sure I'm providing for everybody that I just mentioned. So it's you know, I'm still diversifying. I'm still practicing what I preach. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Helps to get it out though. Thanks for listening.